What is up, everybody? It's Ethan Newberry, the Ginger Runner, and welcome
Kim
to the post show
Tashima Newberry
of
chat room.
Ginger Runner Live.
That turned into a really good impression of me.
Live.
You need to be on SNL.
That's what my mom keeps telling me.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, everyone.
Thank you guys so much again for your participation this year in Ginger Runner Global Run. We cannot thank you all enough. You are our core supporters and our core crew that gets out there and participates in these events year after year and you know, whenever we do stuff like this. So thank you from the bottom of our hearts for participating in GRGR. It doesn't matter if you got the swag or if you just did a digital version this year. It's just awesome to have the participation, because word of mouth and just seeing the community come together on this day is wonderful. It's wonderful. So thank you. And to everyone who entered the award categories and, you know, participated with a challenge in mind, congratulations, because like taking on something like the elevation or the distance or even the filmmaking or, you know, any of these awards that require the donut challenge that require like that extra amount of effort, it takes a lot. It takes a lot of planning. It takes a lot of like execution on the day. And Matt Feldhake, I feel terrible for this guy. 20 donuts. So Matt, we got some special stuff coming for you, like a gift certificate to Krispy Kreme.
But I'm sure Brian Goldman doesn't feel terrible for Matt.
No, Brian Goldman,
maybe they
22.
each shared like terrible feelings for each other.
So I'm curious, Matt and Brian, did you two know each other's results? Like, Matt, did you know ahead of time that Brian, because the Strava group was like lit this year. I know, I'm a millennial. I use lit. But compared to last year, the Strava group last year was great. People were chiming in and
but people were really chatting it up in those Strava
this
group,
year
which
was
was
really
awesome.
cool to see all the comments and stuff. So I'm curious, if Matt knew 20 wasn't a winner, like, do people know the results of the awards before we even get to them?
Some people might, or some people just might have the feeling.
Brian says, I feel so bad for him. I think Brian and Matt have this kinship now.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
They are the only two humans that I know of that like know what it takes to down 20 plus donuts.
Elaine in the chat room says, how many participants were in the GRGR this year? We had over 1,000 registered people, and not everybody submits. Usually it's about half that submit their actual results that want to be considered for trophies. Yeah, but that's usually what it is.
It's usually right around 40 to 50%, which is kind of what we expect. And to be totally honest, that's actually helpful. We're able to organize things pretty well, but the amount of time that we give ourselves between the end of the day, event and the live stream, it's not a lot of time to like flesh through.
Like, yeah, I think if we had all 1,000 people actually submit and want to submit the results for prize consideration, we'd need to take at least an extra day on top of what we're already taking.
Yeah.
Nathaniel's asking, what is the Strava group? It was emailed out with race registration.
Yeah, Nathaniel. There was a couple individuals that did not receive any of the emails, including an order email or any sort of the follow-up emails, which was a surprise to me, only because I feel like if I registered for something and I didn't receive any emails, I'd be like really worried about it. And a couple of people reached out like, hey, I haven't received any emails. I was like, oh, have you checked your order email or has a link to the digital download or that sort of thing? And they're like, I never received an order email. I was like, it's been 2 months and you haven't received anything?
Some people are busy.
But also, I think what happens is I use MailChimp. I've never done this before because it's expensive. It's way more expensive than I thought to use something like MailChimp. But MailChimp has allowed me to just email everyone at once a really nice kind of laid out email. The problem is I think some people have gotten spammed from MailChimp in the past and sort those emails into the spam folder or automatically just like eliminates them. So I think if I have my emails going through MailChimp, some people might not just get them. And so that could very well be what happened, Nathaniel. Nathaniel says, oh, never mind. Nathaniel, did you get an email? I hope you did. Or did
Maybe
you register?
Nathaniel wasn't registered.
Yeah, that's also possible.
Yeah. Question from Randy in the chat room. Randy goes, curious, the guy who entered his video from Qatar, who used your music, did he have to get permission to use your music? I'm looking for future music for my trip.
I will say, Randy, that because we know you and because you're a Patreon crew member and stuff like that, Patreon crew, you can use my music. So I'm just going to give you guys a heads up. He did not ask for permission. It's fine. People do that.
And especially for things like GRGR.
I'm cool with it. I'm totally cool with it. The only warning I give anybody who uses music that they do not have the rights to is that it will get flagged. So what ends up happening is, like, I think our live stream tonight might get flagged because of some of the music that was in some of those videos. I don't know where they sourced it. So what happens is all the ads on that video are pulled. Ads for most people, including myself, don't matter. They don't make any money or any of that sort of thing. But you will get a notification from YouTube saying there is music that does not belong to you in your video. All monetary gains go to someone else, usually the licensing company. So you can use my music. Your video may get flagged by YouTube, and BMI, which is my licensing company, I don't get any of it. I think
Body
they get
Mass
all
Index?
of it. Yes.
I thought it was funny.
They're the bad company, so I'll laugh at it, but they're just one of those companies that they're big. They make so much money off of all these artists and stuff online. That's the only thing that will happen is that I would hate for people to use the music and get their account flagged, and that's not me doing that. That's BMI, most likely. Google also may throw it into an update folder instead of my primary folder. Oh, Nathaniel, yeah, I didn't register.
Yeah.
Stephanie says, you got a month then, recover from your donut binge. Strava group was very...
Oh.
I'm sorry, I'm just reading through the comments.
There was a question in the main show. We were talking about Geek with Side Nerds video with all the head wraps. Somebody was asking, how many wraps do we have out there? Do you know the number?
Let's see. The first one was the Train Race beer. What?
The white one that's on the board.
Yep. Train Race beer, white one over there on the background set. After that, we did another Train Race beer. Topo angular. I forget what I called it. I think I just called it like mountain collage or something. Then after that, we did the Stripies and Rainier. And then we just did the 2 new versions. So that's
plus
6.
the crew.
Plus the crew. So 7. 7 plus the 6 plus the 7th limited edition crew only head wrap. So 7 total. And Geek with Side Nerd had all of them.
Which I think is really cool. I don't know if anybody else has all 7.
Matt says, finally got my chat working. I wouldn't call it a kinship by any means, Ethan, though I'm petty.
At least you're honest.
I love it. The Strava group was very supportive. I don't get to run with others often because of my crazy work schedule, so it was really nice to have encouragement from them. Totally agree, Vivian. That's why I was really happy with the Strava group this year. It was very active. A lot of people commenting. On the day, there was a lot of people jumping in going like, hey, anyone in blank city running? I'd like to run with someone. And I was like, that's pretty cool. Hopefully next year people jump in maybe like a week early and try to organize a big group.
The biggest crew, and then they'll have to fight over the
award. Marie-Claude, I did the 4 wraps in Vietnam last year. We'll have to do the 7 in New Zealand this year. Yeah. Feltake says, you simply exposed loopholes. It's all good, man, but could people sit at Dunkin' Donuts and not move and just eat donuts? Yes, technically.
Technically, they have to move a little bit.
I would prefer,
because we need to have like a Strava.
Yeah. Brian Goldman said that he went a mile, I think. He basically ran or walked or something pretty short and ate the donuts. That there are loopholes in all of the Ginger Runner events. There are these loopholes that people are finding and exploiting. And, part of me is kind of like, he exploited a good loophole. Like,
there's some things that were like, and for Ginger Mist, you were like, oh yeah, we need to make a new rule for next year.
Matt Feldhake, remind me of mileage, Matt. I think you got 6 or something.
I think you got like 7 something.
We'll call it the Feldhake Amendment, which is the donuts award goes to the individual who consumes the most donuts, but has to travel whatever distance Matt did. So therefore, Matt's legacy of 20 donuts lives on with the distance. Brian Goldman's record lives on with the total number. But, like, we won't give an award for someone who... Like, Brian might be the last winner that consumes 22 donuts.
But what if you're, like, just a beginner runner and, like, your max distance is, like, 2 or 3 miles?
Yeah, it's a good point. But their max edible, like, their max donut consumption is 23, 28. Like, maybe they're just really good at donut consumption. Yeah, like, what if it is one of those competitive eaters who does not run?
What if it's me?
Speaking of competitive eaters, guys, Kim loves Thanksgiving
ketchup
food.
Chicks.
Oh, ketchup chips.
Chicks.
Oh, happy Canadian Thanksgiving, everybody. Yesterday.
There was somebody in the main show that says maybe not on Thanksgiving weekend next year, and I'm kind of I vote with them.
Yeah, we had a couple people like, this is the best weekend ever, and we realized again last year we ran into the same
We can't
issue.
travel home to my family on GRGR weekend because it's too much. Like we have to be glued to our computers.
It will be. It has to be.
It'll be right around
this
there.
window or a little like earlier. We don't want to go later because then it starts getting into Ginger Miss and just the amount of work that's involved in creating GRGR up into the last minute. We don't want to start going into Ginger Miss prep. Matt says 7.5. That's a pretty damn good distance for consuming 20 freaking donuts.
Stephanie says the loophole in Ginger Miss is a shoe donation. We know. We're fixing it this year.
It'll be fixed. I promise.
We got some hate mail last year.
Some people were very, very mad.
Some people were very mad last year.
I'm like, listen, this loophole was 2 years ago.
But also, listen, this is a free event, guys.
Yeah, and also, guys, you didn't spend anything to participate.
Let's see. Amber says, the only wrap I'm missing is the very first Ginger Miss gift.
I don't. Did we have any of those?
I think we have
one for like antique. Oh man, we should put one up on eBay and auction it off, and have that go to Gus's surgeries too. Maybe. Ryan, people were mad about the donations. Yes.
Yeah, we had some.
Listen, it's because what was at stake was a multi-$1,000 treadmill. And the points were accumulated by all sorts of things, including donations. And my reasoning is, our winner donated a lot of pairs of shoes to charity. So part of me is like, that's amazing. That they saved up all year and they donated it for Ginger Miss. And it was an amazing, like, it won't ever be able to be duplicated because it was just so many shoes. And it was such an amazing donation to help those in need around the holidays. And someone got very, very mad that someone exploited that loophole. And a couple people got really, really mad. And, our job is we never want to spread negativity or any of that sort of thing. So for us, we're just going to fix the rule. We're just going to fix it. So it's not an issue. Basically, I think max points. I think you can only get up to a certain number of points, and anything above that is just good charitableness.
Let's see. Nathaniel asked in the main show, what led to you come up with the idea of a virtual run? What was the inspiration?
Good question, Nathaniel. So the idea, we realized that we had a big community around the world, and a lot of viewers now and during live streams and would comment later or listen to the podcast later were coming to us from around the globe. I really have always, this is actually going to answer CTAM79's question as well as Nathaniel's question. I've always wanted to host an event that people could come to and we could see in person, meet people in person, have people run, and a dream is to be able to high five or hug people at a finish line and congratulate them on completing something they never thought they could do. That would be amazing. And that, as we started this whole thing and seeing the people from around the world do things that they never thought possible and telling us the stories just inspired us. What if we created an event that got everyone on Earth that wanted to together doing something? And rather than having it in a physical location, which would require a lot of travel money and getting people to, take time off work and do all that sort of thing, what if there was a way we could do a virtual run that didn't suck like all virtual runs? So our experience, we'd never done a virtual run participated in before because they all kind of suck. They all were like, give us $80 and we'll send you a medal and maybe a t-shirt. And you just run whatever. It's a 5K. So you just run your 5K whenever you want. And that's it. You just get swag and you do your own thing. And I was like, I get it. There are people who like those sorts of things. But what if we took it a step further and did an event like a virtual run that didn't suck? So the swag was good. It was good quality gear, stuff that you would maybe use or showcase around your house and just didn't collect dust or go into a box somewhere. And then also everyone did something on the same day. So we had to add an additional rule. So rather than doing it on your own time, you did it on a specific day so you could feel the rest of the globe participating in this event with you. There are other events out there that do similar things that are really, really cool. Ghost runs are popular now, which I think is a really interesting take on it. The Wings for Life run, those are physical locations, but then you run against people from around the globe on the same day and you get chased down by a car. Like, those are really interesting, logistically much more complicated. But I really like the idea of doing a virtual run that didn't suck. And then what I hated was the term virtual run, because I thought it just had a lot of negative connotation because of the companies that make the bad ones. I didn't want to be associated with the bad ones. So we just this year opted to, like, we're not calling ourselves a global run or a virtual run. We are a virtual run, but it's a global run because it's bringing the community from around the globe together on a specific day. And I'm happy that we rebranded. And I'm really, really happy with the results. I think this is, by far, every year gets better and better. I'm really excited about it. Next year is going to be even better than this. So, we usually start, for those of you who maybe are joining Patreon in the last couple of months, we do start planning early on. We start talking about it during our Patreon crew lives every month. Early on, we're going to start earlier this year. If you're going to stick with us for a couple of months, we'd love, obviously, to still have you. But probably around March or February, we're going to start talking about it. We hope to open registration closer to like May or June, have it last through the summer, depending on when we choose to have the event. We're toying with a couple ideas of doing, like, Gus is going to death, snoring crazy. Doing like a la carte, where the gear, like, you have a couple of options, so you can get just the t-shirt, or you can get all the swag, or you can get just the digital entry, or, you know, digital entry and just a t-shirt. We're toying with some different things, because next year we'll probably be doing like long sleeve. We're talking about doing long sleeve because of the time of year. It tends to be a little bit colder unless you're south of the hemisphere, unless it's warmer. All sorts of things are being toyed with. We already have the ideas, so we're very excited about next year.
Yeah.
And the second question that was on that same thing, CTAM was asking about direct, a formal event, an actual in-person event. I have so many ideas right now in my head of in-person events. I just got an application for a potential first in-person event here locally. I've been, like, my brain is like all day on our run, or the entire run today. I was just thinking about it. Like, the ideas are just, they're going. I think it's going to be so cool. It's possible. So that's what we're trying to find out now, is the idea I have in my head of the event that I want to do here locally is possible. I always believe, like, nothing's impossible. We can try to make anything happen. And then there's part of me like, am I going to have to grease some politicians' palms to make this thing happen? I hope not. But it could be really cool and really hard. Like, super tough. Could be neat.
Yeah.
More on that later.
Jeremy asks, Ethan, Kim, are you going to be doing Car Geek this year? So Car Geek falls on the same weekend as another race.
Yeah, we have friends that have registered. My brother-in-law and some other friends have registered for an event that takes place on the same day. And we would like to go run with friends and family on that day.
I would like to do both races.
We would like to do both.
Possible.
It's just not possible. I mean, no, I don't think it is.
I guess technically you could do both. The morning race.
What time does the morning race start?
I don't know.
Even if it's 8 a.m., I don't think.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think we could do both. Unfortunately, I don't think we're going to be able to do Car Geek this year, even though it has a very special place in our heart.
It's such a fun race.
It is so fun. You never think that a loop race would be fun, especially one that hard.
Geek of the Side of Nerd says, the name change made me sad. I came up with GRVR.
Really? That was years ago.
That was years ago.
We loved the name. If other brands who do virtual runs didn't suck so much, it would stay GRVR. What?
Nothing.
There's other virtual runs out there that are not great.
Agree.
And I don't want people to like, oh, this is just another one of those stupid virtual runs. I want people to go, this is kind of neat. This is a really cool global event. Sorry, we've changed the name.
Brian Sand says, how about a different shirt color option?
Yes.
I do like white shirts, but would love a color option. Yeah.
Yes.
I want something different than white next year.
Agreed. We were dealing with all sorts of stuff with the shirts this year, quantities, and
we had like you expect to have bumps in the road, and we kind of expected that year one, and nothing really happened. Then year two, nothing really happened. And like this year really tested us.
Yeah, this year was
for
like
a number of different reasons.
Are we ever going to do this again?
Yeah.
It worked out in the end. People got the gear. I really like my t-shirt. I wear that thing all the time. You like yours, so I'll be wearing it all year. I am excited for next year's to change it up a little bit, darker, possibly long sleeve.
Maybe long sleeve.
Yeah, we're toying with some.
Because we saw. Ideas. I mean, we both did, and we saw a lot of people wearing like a long sleeve underneath their shirts.
Yeah,
this year.
Time of year is, especially here in the northern hemisphere, it's cold. It's getting, or at least it's getting cold. So some of the eastern states here in the United States were like short sleeve, hot, humid, crazy temps. But then the West Coast was a little bit more. Ooh, it's cold, it's wet, rainy. And Europe was, you could tell some places were chilly and others were not. So we're toying with some ideas, and we'd like to change it up. So if you hold on to all these T-shirts, which many of you have, I've seen GRVR 16, 17, and 18 shirts, all in succession. So people are holding on to these things for a long time, which I'm excited about. I want the next piece to be something you hold on to again for another 5-10 years. Let's get to maybe one more question, then we'll go eat dinner.
Let's see. Nathaniel asks, Ethan, is there a photo, video, or written entry that strikes you? Anything stand out for you?
What do you mean? Just other than the ones that we awarded tonight?
Maybe. I'm trying to think. We talked about a lot of our favorites.
Yeah, we talked a lot about our favorites tonight. A lot of the stories. There's a story about a brand new mom. An inspirational story that I wanted to read tonight. Just ran out of time. Wonderful, wonderful person. Lots of stories like that. A lot of short ones too, just, telling us a bit about their story. There was a gentleman who in his video, at the end of the video, he's in Amsterdam. You watch this video, he's like running, he's having a great time, and he picks up trash along the trail. I forget his name.
Oh, he said, Nathaniel says in the history of the event.
Oh. Well, anyways, that guy picks up trash, and you're kind of like, oh, this is a cool video. He's cleaning up the trails while he's running. And at the very end, he kind of talks about how he was inspired by Chris Mocco, and Chris Mocco talking about his eating disorders.
That was Paul Way.
It's Paul. And Paul talked about how he then lost, I think, 30 or 40 pounds at this point, just changed his whole life. He's like, listen, I saw this story about Chris Mocco and him coming out talking about binge eating. And he's like, I realized that that's what I've been doing my whole life. I think he was 60, 50. I forget how old he was, but he came to the conclusion that he also suffered from it, and he changed everything and has already lost 15 kilos. And it's like, whoa, man, this is amazing. What a cool story. As far as in the last few years.
You think about it for a second, but I forgot to mention this in the main show, and it was in my notes, and it was so super cute. Andrew Baker, in Andrew's entry, he said, zoom in to my Strava thing for a secret message. And I was like, what is this? So I like click, like zoom right in, way in. And Andrew had written, hi, Gus.
Yeah.
On his Strava thing with his run. And I thought that was super fun.
Andrew, way to get out there too, man. And to do that was just awesome. People were...
Can't believe I forgot to mention that.
I
during
know.
The main show.
I couldn't pull a photo. I didn't see a link in the spreadsheet. I was going to pull a photo and pop it into the photo thread there. I also put Destiny's in there where she spelled out GRGR. I will say last year's Inspirational Award winner is one of those things that sticks out for me 100%. Yeah. Rob Fritz and his story of losing his fiance and running every day, starting a run streak in her honor because she was in the middle of a run streak before she was tragically hit by a car. It was heartbreaking. It's a heartbreaking story, and I did film a little bit with Rob this last year, and hope to put together a little behind the run series on him. And it's heartbreaking, and he's such a wonderful guy, super kind human, and to know what he had to go through in the last few years is it's heartbreaking. So that's definitely one that has stuck out with me for sure.
Ingen says, don't talk about that again. I'm going to cry.
Yeah, same.
That was a tough one. That was a really tough one.
Same.
Ryan Flint asked, is there a way to get a shirt from this year and now if you just did digital download? Ryan, so you won the Gain Award. I'll be emailing you. You can ask me in the email.
We do have leftovers.
We have some.
Same as last year.
So we don't have all the sizes, but
we don't have all the sizes, but we do have some. We always try to over order. Logistics require such. We don't have enough to like replace. Like if people were like, "Oh, the size doesn't fit," we don't have enough to swap out, unfortunately. But we do have extras that we will probably toss up for availability to GR crew only.
Right.
We like to always let things like this be open to you guys first and foremost, and then they tend to go. Like all of the Patagonia shirts from last year, they went like that, and this year I imagine will go like that. Yeah, and then head wraps are still available. If you haven't already, grab the GR Crew head wraps. You have the link. It's in Patreon. Just scroll down. You'll find the link to the GR Crew specific one that is not available to the public. So grab that if you have not already. If you are at $10 or $25, you have a coupon for a free GR Crew wrap. So use that, courtesy of a wonderful Patreon supporter, basically like wanting every GR Crew member to get one if they could. And get the other two designs. We have plenty available at this point. Once they're gone, the bills are paid for, and future visits are hopefully paid for.
Hopefully.
And we're just like hoping to get them all sold. So if you've got them already, enjoy them, use them, take pictures of them out on the trails, spread the love. And Christmas is coming up too. Holidays are coming up. So if you want to get some for friends or whatever, do so. Got coupons of all levels. Coupons, use them. All that sort of stuff.
There's somebody else. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, there's somebody else in the chat room that reminded me. Spare Tire Running Club.
Yes.
Your video is another video that Ethan and I both really loved.
Yep.
Running around the track and
how that track was special to you in high school and all that.
Yeah, and I think you did like 40
laps. Yeah,
42 laps.
40
or
plus
like
laps, I believe.
Yeah,
it was crazy. What I was going to say is Kim is going to post on Patreon for everybody coupon codes. We've got coupons for Running Warehouse, which if you haven't used it yet, you can use it. The holidays are coming up, right? So we, of course, want to help save you some cash. So Running Warehouse, if you need to buy shoes or nutrition or any of that sort of stuff, you can use the coupon for 10% off at Running Warehouse. And we're going to get another coupon for Squirrels Nut Butter. I think the coupon that we have already in there will work through December. Okay. I'll confirm that with them. And then so the last one is Spring Energy. So this is something that Kim and I have been using, like the cannaberry flavor from Spring Energy. I
love that.
I haven't tasted anything that good on a trail run in so long. It's like tart but sweet and creamy. It's so good. Ugh.
Hashtag not an ad.
They do not give us any money. They do not pay us.
No.
They did give us a discount coupon. Yeah. We're going to be giving that to you so you can use it to get a discount off of Spring Energy gels, because that, like, we just love it. We 100%. This is something I think I've told 1,000 times, but we are not paid by brands. 1,000% not paid for it. Paid for by any brand. We have to divulge that information legally. So if we're paid. So the only time, basically, in all of my reviews, you'll see that the gear is not donated, but courtesy of blank. Most often cases now, it's Running Warehouse will donate or contribute the shoes for review. It's not a donation. It's they give us a shoe for review, right? If a brand were to give us a shoe, I would say the shoe's courtesy of Hoka 11 or One or something like that. But anytime a brand gives us money, which is never, you have to divulge that because it is legally required. If it's for a sponsorship, sort of like go buy blank, right? So what I just said about Spring Energy is not an ad. I realize I do have to clarify that just so everyone knows everything is on the up and up. We are 1,000% transparent. We always believe in that.
And I think you guys know us well enough that we'll generally only talk about things that we actually truly believe in and use ourselves or buy ourselves.
It always feels weird to say things like, I really like this thing.
But then it's like, it's not an ad, you guys. We just really like this thing.
It's because there are people like Instagram, famous Instagrammers and stuff like that. They give people who on social media like a bad name because they're like, hey, buy this tummy flat tee. They're getting like $300,000.
I love that that's what you reference.
Well, those are the ones that are very, you read that and go, this tea is bullshit. Like this tummy flat tea, this doesn't work. It literally gives you diarrhea. And there's like Instagram models who just promote it, and they get paid hundreds of $1,000s to promote it. So when we say we like Spring Energy, it's just because it tastes so damn good. We've been using it a lot, and we want to give you guys a coupon for that. So Kim will be posting that soon.
Yeah, I'll try and get it up on the Patreon site this week.
Perks on perks on perks, guys. Do you remember what the amount is of the discount?
I think it's 10% or something like that.
Sweet. If there's things like that you guys want to see, we can do our best to get that sort of thing. We can reach out to brands and always ask, like, do you guys want to give a coupon code to our GR crew? We can try to figure that stuff out.
Comment from Lori Hall in chat room. Lori says, been struggling with my running and want to thank you for GRGR. It got me out the door. Knowing that there are people all over the world participating helped me so much.
Lori, big shout out to you and Chuck, of course. Just like getting out the door. And you're not the only one this weekend who expressed like it's difficult to, when you're in a slump, running slump, or run. I already got a YouTube copyright claim for Ginger Runner Live episode number 231. Someone's music was in that.
Yeah.
That got flagged. So that is what happens. Sweet. Doesn't hurt the YouTube channel. Just means that video is not gonna. Cool. Regardless, there was a lot of people that reached out and said a very similar thing of like running's, frustrating, or, it's just not going the way you want to go. And just getting out the door sometimes is enough, and it's difficult in and of itself. Way to get out there, Lori. Way to get it done. Way to crush GRGR. You and Chuck just crush it all the time. We love you guys. And big shout out to Ingen too. And we wanted to make sure that we give her some love, and everyone else who was out there from the GR crew doing the GRGR thing. Thank you. Thank you for helping to contribute to this community. Continue it growing and growing and growing, and we really, really appreciate it very, very much from the bottom of our hearts. I have a lot of editing to do this week for the GRGR 18 recap vid. I hope you guys enjoy it. There might be a little bit of sneaky new music in it, perhaps. New album. We'll talk about this later. I realize we could go on and on about the stuff that we're working on currently, but yeah, new album coming out next month, hopefully. I'm shooting for the end of November.
That seems like a good time frame.
I need to put a date on it, because otherwise I'll just keep making music and be like, wow, I've got 20 new songs. That's it, everybody. I got to deal with a copyright claim. Thank you again so much for all the participation, everybody. Hope you enjoyed it. Show some love, follow that hashtag. You know the drill. Show some love. Make the people who participated that maybe aren't a part of the GR crew feel welcome, because you guys, that's what you do. You're all wonderful humans, so we really appreciate that. And thank you for participating tonight and sticking around and enjoying the award show. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, congrats to everybody who got out this weekend, and thank you again.
Nice job, Kim. We'll see it in the video, but we had to call an audible on our GRGR. We basically had a goal, and it was a challenging goal, and we went for it, and we realized about halfway through this is not going to happen. And we altered course.
And Ethan's like, hey, let's do this little add-on. This will be cute.
Let's change it and do this.
And then I was like, dead.
And I fell. And it was all sorts of
fun stuff happened.
But it was still really fun. You'll see it in the video. Yeah. Hopefully the camera works. I dropped it when I fell. I don't know. Yeah, I did. We'll see. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, guys.
See you next week. Bye.